Welcome to Economic Deep Dive, where we break down the world's biggest financial events and hidden economic truths. In today's video, we explore they designed a system you can never escape. Get ready for a clear, powerful, and engaging deep dive that reveals how global markets, money systems, and real-world events truly connect. Stay till the end to understand the full story. For centuries, powerful institutions have shaped the world's financial structure in ways most people never notice. Every major crisis, every economic boom, every wave of innovation, and every shift in political power has been closely tied to the way the financial system is designed. But what if the system wasn't built for you? What if the economy you live in, the money you earn, and the opportunities you chase are not governed by free market forces at all, but by a set of rules engineered to keep you inside a cycle that benefits those at the top? To understand this, we need to step back from the noise of daily news and look at the architecture of the global economic machine. This machine has three core pillars: money creation, debt dependency, and controlled scarcity. And each pillar is designed so that the average person remains trapped, working harder, earning less real value, and becoming more dependent on institutions that claim to serve them. Let's start with how money is created. Most people assume governments print money and distribute it based on economic needs. The truth is far more complex. The vast majority of the world's money supply is created through debt. Every time a loan is made, whether it's for a house, a car, a business, or even a government stimulus, new money enters circulation. But that money enters with interest attached. This means the total debt always exceeds the total money available. In other words, the system requires perpetual borrowing to stay alive. If loans stopped, the economy would collapse. If borrowing slows, recession begins. If borrowing grows too quickly, inflation hits. It's a cycle designed so that you can never fully escape the need for more money, more credit, more repayment, and more dependence. The second pillar is debt dependency. Governments, corporations, and individuals all participate in this structure, but not equally. Large institutions have access to credit at extremely low cost. Banks borrow from central banks at near zero interest rates. Big corporations issue bonds at rates lower than inflation. Meanwhile, ordinary people pay the highest interest on credit cards, personal loans, and mortgages. The system rewards those who already have capital and penalizes those who don't. This is why wealth inequality grows even during economic growth. The system magnifies wealth at the top and dilutes wealth at the bottom. Over time, this cycle creates an invisible form of economic captivity. You're not forced to stay in it, but every path out slowly leads back in. Want a home? You take a mortgage. Want an education? You take a loan. Want to start a business? You seek capital from the same institutions that profit from your debt. Even governments are trapped. When governments spend more than they earn, which they almost always do, they issue bonds. These bonds are bought by financial institutions, foreign governments, and central banks, creating yet another layer of dependence. Now let's talk about the third pillar, controlled scarcity. Scarcity creates value. But in the modern world, much scarcity is artificial. Nations restrict production to keep prices high. Corporations limit supply to control revenue. Central banks adjust interest rates to create a sense of economic tightening or loosening. But the biggest form of controlled scarcity is inflation. Inflation slowly erodes the value of your money while increasing the value of assets held by the wealthy. The system is designed so that saving cash punishes you, while owning assets rewards you. But assets, real estate, equities, commodities are hardest to access for the average person. The result is predictable. Over time, the middle class shrinks, the wealthy consolidate power, and the lower class becomes increasingly dependent on wages that fail to keep up with the rising costs of living. This dynamic is not accidental. It is the outcome of a system crafted over decades by policymakers. Central banks, global corporations, and financial institutions all acting in ways that reinforce the model, even if they don't collaborate directly. But here's the deeper layer. The system also shapes behavior. Modern economies rely on consumerism to stay alive. The more you spend, the more the machine grows. Marketing, social pressure, digital apps, and the culture of constant upgrading all push people toward buying more, borrowing more, and working more. This behavior keeps the engine running, but it also keeps individuals financially trapped. The average person works harder each year just to maintain the same standard of living. Meanwhile, automation, outsourcing, and artificial intelligence make the labor market increasingly unstable. You're in a system where your income depends on a job that could disappear. Your savings lose value over time, and your debts grow faster than your assets. Now let's examine how global events tie into this system. Every economic crisis, from the 1970s oil shock to the 2008 financial meltdown to the pandemic-driven shutdown, ends the same way, with greater centralization of power. Banks merge, governments increase control, central banks expand balance sheets. More money is created, more debt enters circulation, and the system becomes even more entrenched. Crises don't break the machine, they strengthen it. Think about the 2008 crisis. Millions lost homes, savings, and careers. But major financial institutions received bailouts, bonuses, and record-breaking profits just a few years later. The pandemic brought another wave of inequality. Small businesses shut down. Large corporations expanded. Wealth flowed upward. New technologies of surveillance, digital payment systems, and centralized data tracking became normal. And now, central bank digital currencies, CBDCs, represent the next phase. These digital currencies offer fast transactions and improved security, but they also offer unprecedented control. With programmable money, spending can be tracked, restricted, or monitored. The financial system becomes not just a source of economic dependency, but a tool of behavioral influence. And this is where the phrase "you can never escape" takes on its full meaning. The modern economic system is not a prison with walls. It's a network of incentives, rules, risks, and necessities. You participate because you must. You work to earn money, you save to survive. You borrow to build a life. And every step of the way, the system keeps you inside a cycle that benefits those who sit at the top of the financial hierarchy. But does this mean all hope is lost? Not necessarily. While the system is designed to keep you inside, understanding it is the first step toward navigating it more effectively. Awareness helps you make better decisions. When you understand money creation, you stop relying on cash savings alone. When you understand debt cycles, you approach borrowing strategically instead of emotionally. When you understand controlled scarcity, you begin shifting your focus toward assets, skills, and investments that protect you from long-term erosion. The real power lies in adaptation. Investors who understand inflation by assets before prices rise, entrepreneurs who understand technological shifts build businesses in emerging industries instead of declining ones. Individuals who understand financial cycles avoid panic during downturns and take advantage of opportunities when others hesitate. This is how people break free. Not by escaping the system, but by mastering how it works. The truth is, the system is evolving faster than ever. Artificial intelligence is transforming productivity. Digital finance is replacing traditional banking. Geopolitical tensions are reshaping global trade. The world is entering a new era where economic power will be defined by data, technology, and control of financial infrastructure. And those who understand the underlying structure will be the ones who thrive. As we reach the end of this deep dive, remember this. The system may be designed to keep you inside, but it is not impossible to navigate. Knowledge is leverage, strategy is protection, and awareness is the key that turns the lock. The world's financial architecture may be complex, but once you learn how it works, you can rise above the cycle instead of being trapped within it. Thank you for watching Economic Deep Dive. If you found this breakdown valuable and eye-opening, make sure to subscribe for more powerful insights into global markets, money systems, and the hidden forces shaping our world. The more you understand, the stronger your position in a system that was never designed with you in mind.